welcome to the Way Outside the Nest podcast. I am your host, Hollywood J, with so much to say. Whew, let's start the show.
Jalen Hurts. A.J. Brown has it. He's got the first down. And he's trying to get more. It's first and goal, Eagles.
Yeah, do you feel like that's the best you've played this year?
Must be, you asking me. You know, because I'm still working. You know, I think it'll be a time where I sit down and I'll be like, go AJ. But it's not it right now. You know, we got a big matchup. Got Dallas.
Now, on this episode is a special episode. For the first time ever, I talk Eagles with a female. This is amazing. It's never happened to me in my entire life. My ex lied about liking football just to get in my...
Break yourself, fool!
And here I am, for the first time ever, realizing they exist. Awesome. Shout out to Sharia for making this happen. Took a lot of nerves. Took her powering through life events to make this happen. Shout out to her. I believe timing is everything, and I'm thankful for the timing. So without further ado, here's my conversation with Sharia. Did so. Say what's up, Shreya.
Hi, what's up?
Now, she was telling me an interesting story as to why she didn't watch the Eagles game before jumping on the Eagles podcast. So I'm going to let her explain herself.
Okay, so the game was on, but I'm going through a breakup right now, and it happened literally Saturday night. But I do want to say the last time I got dumped, we won the Super Bowl.
So there is silver linings for this.
I took one for the team.
She took one for the team. Was there anything at all that jumped out at you, despite the fact?
I think Jalen Hurts was awesome, especially for doing it on a bum knee. He threw a touchdown pass to A.J. Brown, Smitty, and Julio Jones.
Hurts calling for the football. Clock still running. 40, 39. Hurts back. Hurts looking. Goes into the end zone. And it is caught. It is caught. Touchdown, A.J. Brown.
Ridiculous. It's so crazy.
Hesitation. Hurts. End zone. Throw. And yes! Julio Jones with an Eagle touchdown.
I was concerned about our defense just for a second. I just think the Commanders had our number this year, because we held the Dolphins to the best offense in the league to less than 20, and we gave them 7 points. So I just think it's a divisional opponent, and for some reason Sam Howell turns into Brady against us, and that's it's just what happens. But we came off with the win. We're 7-1. Also, when you see the Chiefs, who are such a winning team, an electric team to watch with so much talent, when you see them lose by double digits to a divisional opponent, it's kind of like, it could have been worse. We could have lost. So it's nice when you have the rest of the day to realize you could have lost. So
I must say I am really impressed by the breakdown you just delivered right now. I have never heard a breakdown by I don't even know what to say anymore without offending people, but a female. That's crazy.
It's okay. All of my guy friends or coworkers asked me to help them out with their fantasy league. I don't have a fantasy league because honestly, I don't really understand how it works. I know good players and stuff, but in terms of the points and all that, it's fantasy. It's not real, so I'm not a big fan of it. But yeah, all my coworkers are always in shock every time I open my mouth and I talk about football. It's bad. If we stop talking about football, I wait for another person to bring up football so I can talk more about football.
Let's go. Let's go. Literally, I didn't know people like you existed. So that's really cool. That's really cool to hear. What is your level of concern on Jalen Hurts' knee? 1 to 10. 10 being the worst.
10 being like,
shut him down. Shut him down.
if we didn't have a bye week after this Sunday, it'd be a higher number. I also think, honestly, I'm not a doctor. I feel like the problem with people is we all pretend to be doctors sometimes and know what he's feeling. I just think he's in pain. Like, I think there's a difference between being, like, seriously injured and, like, hurting, you know? So, apparently it's a deep bone bruise, right? That's what people are saying.
That's what they're saying.
So if that's the case, as long as it's not like, knees are scary to me because it's like, you know, your meniscus or ACL, whatever the hell is in there. Woo! Like, if that tears, like, the season's over for him, and that's, I don't think they didn't let him play with a banged up shoulder, you know?
I trust you right now. You sound like you know exactly what you're talking about. I'll go with it, yes.
So I want to say, like, a 5. Like, I'm just upset that, like, I don't want my quarterback in any type of pain. I don't want him to go through anything. He's so amazing. Like, he really is. I listen to his podcast his press conferences, and I got to stop because I, like, take the things he says and I bring it into my everyday life. Like,
yes.
Swear to God, like, he doesn't just influence, like, little kids who want to be a quarterback. Like, he influences women, too. Like, he's so special. And I just don't want anything to happen to him. So, in terms of the injury, he says he's fine. Everyone thinks he's fine. I think he's just playing through pain, and that happens. It just happened earlier in the season than later, you know? And the bye week's coming. I think it'll help a lot. The Cowboys are coming, kind of annoying, because
Yes.
You know, we always have a tough time. Like, last year we were beating them 20-0 at half, and then they came back 17-20, and then I think it was 20-20 at one point. And then it's our strongest divisional opponent. Dak had an awesome game. CeeDee Lamb went off. They beat the Rams by 43, and they figured out their red zone struggles that they were having.
This is impressive. This is really impressive. Oh wow. Okay, yeah, that's a really good answer. You're killing it right now. This is really cool. All right, so I guess I could ask the tough questions. You're just going off right now. So all right, Nick Sirianni. What grade would you give Nick Sirianni right now?
I mean, it's hard not to say, like, when you're winning, you know? Like, I feel like winning is the only thing that matters. Obviously, the Jets game, I was really upset. Fourth quarter, like, personally, I would have just, if we didn't get the first down, like, I would have just punted it, you know, and see what Zach Wilson can do. And our defense was awesome. We held them to field goals all game. With that, like, being excused, like, I would give him an A.
Give him an A. Okay.
I'm giving him an A.
Oh, she's giving him an A.
No one else is 7-1. Andy Reid's not 7-1. Winning is the only thing that matters. You know how people talk about Kyle Shanahan and how brilliant he is, but they lost 3 in a row. You got to give credit where it's due, and Nick Sirianni's 7-1, so no one can argue that.
Is there anything that could stop this team from winning a Super Bowl?
Themselves. Genuinely self-inflicted wounds. Like, and that's just who we've been the last 2 seasons. We had 1 loss with Jalen as a starter, and if you actually rewatch the game, Jalen was great that game. Everyone else kind of wasn't. Our defense played like 70 snaps. They were exhausted. Quez Watkins had that big play, and then he dropped it, and then there was a Dallas Goedert fumble, and then he was hurt. It was just a disaster, and that was a self-inflicted loss. And then, obviously, the Cowboys and Saints, Jalen didn't play. And also, we had a few fumbles. Miles Sanders fumbled one. I think Gardner Minshew turned the ball over. So I think if we play a clean football game and complimentary football, we can beat anybody. Like, we can just beat anyone. Like, the Super Bowl, we were lights out. Like, the fumble obviously didn't help us. You know, it gave them 7. But our defense didn't come up with a stop in the second half. Like, there was no second half adjustments. I do want to shout out Sean Desai. I think he's been...
She did it.
So, like, I just think people as Eagles fans, and I get the same way, in the moment during the game when we're allowed, like, our guys are getting torched, and I think Sam Howell had, 400 yards yesterday? Like,
Yeah.
Like, crazy. I think when you are in it, you're mad, and you're like, whatever. But the second half, we won that half.
We did.
He's just been awesome. I think also because we looked so ugly the first few games, like, our defense won us the first few games, too. Like, Slay had a pick 6. Had a great defense against the Patriots. It's just been weird. I think by right now it's week 8. We've gotten it together better and better every week.
It's 2nd and 10. 24-17. Commanders. Hurts is back. Hurts looking downfield. Hurts is going deep. Backing up. Devontae Smith. Touchdown. Devontae Smith. Wide open.
They drop coverage, and it's nice when your quarterback can see the entire field.
Like, that's another thing about, like, Jalen Hurts. Short memory. His ability to just, the next play. It's crazy. Most people, like, realize it's a big mistake, and they look shaken up from it. Like, he just isn't fazed by anything. He's just ready to go. I trust him with my life. Like,
I like that.
I do. I really do. Like, I don't care about the 11 turnovers. I think it's 8 interceptions and 3 fumbles right now.
Yeah.
Which is sad, but here's the thing. Josh Allen has 30 turnovers, like, every year. Like, I don't know why people don't give him the same energy. I do think the way we talk about Dak and the turnovers he had last year, we got to hold Jalen to, like, a standard, which we do. I do, you know. Obviously, I don't want to see it. We're still winning games.
You're right about a lot of things, especially Jalen Hurts and his short memory. We're going to play a game. All right? So in this game, you are going to be Nick Sirianni. Yeah, and I'm going to name 2 names, and you're going to pick one. And as long as I agree, I won't buzz you. But if I disagree, I want you to explain why you picked that player, okay? All right, so here we go. First one, Swift or Kenny G?
DeAndre Swift.
Good answer. Sue Opeta or Tyler Steen?
Ooh. Tyler Steen, he was awesome.
All right, next one. Quez or Oz?
Oz.
Dean or Morrow? Ooh, that's good.
Morrow. I think no one expected anything from him.
Wow. Explain yourself.
I think nobody expected anything from him. And what are you talking about? Like, just within the first few games, he was I literally had to issue an apology to, like, the defense and the linebackers. Like, obviously, Nakobe Dean has a higher ceiling. I just think Morrow's been playing better.
Okay, you're standing on it. I like it. All right. Bradbury or Ricks?
Oh, God. Do I have to?
Absolutely.
I have to say Bradbury right now because of, you know, he's a veteran.
Whoa, explain yourself.
I know. Eli Ricks is still, he's young. Like, I think I just trust Bradbury more, even though Eli Ricks has been great. Like, the Dolphins game, it was the last play of the game, made sure he covered up Tyreek Hill and locked him up. He was awesome. I just think James Bradbury is just someone I do trust him. Yeah, I'm sticking with it. I'm sticking with my answer.
Oh, she's sticking with it. I like it.
You're making me feel like I'm wrong.
No, absolutely not. We're just a little pushback. I'd like to hear more. That's all. All right. So, Derek Barnett or Nolan Smith Jr.?
I'm going to go with Nolan.
I'd like to hear more.
I think his ceiling's higher. I think, when we run like a 5-man front and, geez, like, he's going to be great. Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith, like, getting them in the draft is actually insane. I don't know why anybody would let us do that.
This is going to be punt returner. Boston Scott or Britton Covey?
I'm going to start by saying I'm a very sensitive person, and I fall in love with the players and, like, their stories and all that. And I don't know if you watched, like, Britton Covey on the Eagles posted, like, an unscripted video. And it was just his life and him talking about being on the practice squad and being a starter, and like it's hard. Like I talked a lot of shit about Britton Covey. Boston Scott, like it's hard to not pick Boston Scott, So it's gonna be like I don't know. Britton Covey has let me down like a few times, so it's like I don't know. It's a big question mark.
Question mark. I'll let you live on that. You explained them both. Actually, Covey's dad is a genius and changed. He has his book it's incredible. So we'll let you live on that one. All right, moving on. I got Marcus Mariota or Tanner McKee.
This is how I look at it. Like Marcus Mariota obviously lost his job towards the end of the season last year, I think. I watched the quarterback show and I watched his journey. I think Tanner McKee in preseason was just lighting him up. He was so great. And Marcus Mariota, like, it just kind of looked like his heart wasn't in it. I don't necessarily know what the outcome would be. God forbid one of them would have to play. I think Marcus Mariota's, not that anybody's Jalen, no one's Jalen, his ability to run and scramble and extend a play is just a bit more similar to Jalen and the offense that we have. But I'm going to go with Marcus Mariota just because the similarities in their game, the slight similarities. And I think Marcus Mariota's never played with this great of, receivers and stuff like that. And I think he'll be able to win a game. He had more touchdowns than Daniel Jones did last year. And Daniel Jones got paid $40 million.
Talking that, sheesh. I feel you.
I don't want to see it, for one. I don't really want to see it, and I don't want to. I just don't like I don't like that people talk about this.
I think that's a great answer on that question for sure. I came in thinking Tanner McKee, but you might have convinced me Mariota might be a better pick there. All right, Jim Schwartz or Sean Desai?
Sean Desai.
Brian Johnson or Shane Steichen?
Oh, I do want to point something out. Shane Steichen was our OC in 2021. We don't see Jalen lose games. We don't see Jalen really turn the ball over like that. I think we're asking a lot all at once, especially within week 1, week 2, week 3 from a guy who's a quarterback coach. Like, that's reality. He was a quarterback coach. I think that you got people are expecting him to come in and be the best OC because I know Jalen has known him for a long time and that's who Jalen wanted. And I trust Jalen, so I trust the decision. It's hard. Like he ran it it was like 3rd and 6, I think, or maybe 3rd and 2, and he ran like a screen, and I was just like, what the fuck? Like in the red zone, like I was just mad. It was against the Patriots, I'm pretty sure, or the Vikings. It was in the beginning of the year. He called a great game. We scored twice in the red zone against the Jets, and then it all went to shit. But some things are not Brian Johnson's fault. Like Smitty dropping balls is not his fault. Jalen throwing interceptions on his fault. Like not all the time, For being a quarterback coach for the last few years and coming into an NFL team that was in the Super Bowl last year, that it's Philly. Coaching in Philly is not easy. And he was great against the Dolphins. Our offense was great. The plays were great. I think yesterday our offense was great. Jalen's QBR was like 130.8.
Whoa. I feel you.
What?
Yeah, no, I'm just really impressed that you know all of this, because I don't even know all of this. So I'm just like, whoa, okay. I see you. You did your homework. I like it.
Thank you.
Well, Sharia, you passed the game show, the very first game show I just made. You passed with flying colors, so congratulations to you. You did it. On to the next segment. Now, what would you like to see from the Dallas game?
Just consistency. I think I would love to see no turnover, like turnover differential. Coach Sirianni said something to the players about, like, we won 20 of the games that the turnover differential was better on our side. You know, our defense was getting turnovers and we weren't turning the ball over, obviously. So I would like to see our defense make some big plays. It's going to be such a close game. I already know that we can't risk. I think when we balance out the run game and the passing game, we're so much better. Defensively, their best player, obviously on offense, is CeeDee Lamb. Their offense has struggled in the red zone. And I know they were great against the Rams, but Dallas isn't unbeatable by any means. Like, we saw an NFC team drop 30 points on them. I also think we started off a lot faster last year, and we're starting off slower this year. So, like, we need to start this game fast. Get in the end zone, score, put points on the board, let our defense do its thing, complimentary football, give our offense time to rest, no self-inflicted wounds, and I think we'll be good.
There you go. And I'm really, really, again, this is really cool. This is going to inspire a lot of people to talk, to say something. So this is cool. Cool opportunity. You are killing it right now. My last question is, are you surprised Nick Sirianni is not being named in Coach of the Year talks right now?
Yeah, but no, because he coaches in Philly. The goalpost for Philadelphia always moves. I think we saw it last year, First Take and all the shows and Get Up. Like, they don't see us being as great as last year, but statistically, we're very similar. I think going into this year, I think people don't like Coach Sirianni. They just don't. Honestly, if I was like a Giants fan or any other team and I saw him acting like the way he acts, I probably wouldn't like him either. But I think he's just such a big fan of his players, and I respect the way he's taught them and really preached to them the relationships that you make in this locker room. And he's such a relationship guy, and the connections that they all make, it really makes them want to play for each other and win for each other, and it's special. I obviously think he should be talked about for Coach of the Year.
No,
it's just like Hassan Reddick. Hassan Reddick should have, I think, been in the conversation for Defensive Player of the Year, but he wasn't even mentioned.
He's having a pretty good year this year.
Yeah, he really, I mean, it's crazy. Like, I know he had a broken finger, and the first 2 games he was kind of silent, but it's just crazy.
Perfect. Well, this was definitely a pleasure talking to you. Did you want to drop your handle so people can find you?
Okay. My Twitter is Sharia Sayani, so it's SHRIYASAINII, and my Instagram is the same thing.
Well, again, thank you for stopping by, Sharia. We do appreciate you on the show. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Thank you so much for having me. I hope we do this again. This was really, really fun. And go Birds.
Go Birds. And yes, we will definitely be bringing you back for more insight. You know your stuff. I underestimated this for sure. You killed it. This is going to be a great episode. I know the listeners are going to be like, what? Because this never happened. So this is cool. This is cool.
Thank you very, very much.
All right. No problem. Well, have a good rest of your week. And we'll see you later.
You too. I can't wait to hear it.
All you do is work.
There we go. That was Sharia. Once again, we appreciate you, Sharia. That was awesome. Great episode. A lot of in-depth analysis that I did not expect at all. That was great. That was one of the best conversations I've ever had in a long time, and I'll remember that for the rest of my life. Awesome. Thank you guys for tuning in. Of course, you could find me on Twitter, always on Twitter, outside the nest _. That's where you'll find me. You can find me on Instagram too, but I'm on Twitter. That's where I'm talking. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to the fans directly. That's where the action is. So that's where I recommend you go. That's where you'll find Sharia too. So, hey, you know what I'm saying? Hey. Anyways, thank y'all for tuning in. I appreciate you guys. We are 7-1. It feels great. Y'all have a great week, man. Y'all have a great ass week.